Hi there, students. What's the difference between a consensus and a compromise? Okay, these two words are certainly different, although maybe they involve each other on occasions. Let's see. A compromise is an argument or a disagreement in which both sides reduce what they're demanding. They reduce the minimum that they say they may have, and you compromise in order to reach an agreement. So the vendor wanted 20, but I said I would only give him 10, but finally we reached a compromise of 15. So a compromise is somewhere between two positions. Whereas a consensus is a general agreement among a group of people. It's the general opinion. Yeah, it's what most people think. So there is a consensus of opinion that this item is too expensive. Yeah. So going back to my example with this compromise between 20 and 10. Yes, we reached a compromise of 15. This is also a consensus because we both agree about the same thing. And this is where the two ideas meet. Although a compromise talks about reducing your demands, whereas a consensus says two or more people are in agreement. There is a consensus among scientists that global warming is going to get much more serious in the future. Yeah, but a compromise is always within a negotiation and reducing your demands. Okay, if both people reach an agreement, then they reach a consensus. So compromise talks about trying to reach a consensus, to reach a point of view where both sides agree. It's talking about unanimity. Yeah. It's the opinion of most people who are concerned in a matter. Okay, so compromise is good because you can't always have everything your way. Whereas the consensus, it's the general opinion. It's the common opinion or common consent, yeah, where the general group agrees to do something. So what shall we do today? Yeah, and let's talk about this and see if we can reach a consensus. If there are any people who feel very strongly about different things, then maybe we're going to have to compromise and do a bit of one and a bit of the other. But that's really the difference between the two. To compromise, or a compromise, a midpoint, a reasonable position, reaching a position which is acceptable to everyone, so that there is a consensus, and that's where these two words meet. Compromise has other meanings as well. For example, if something's compromised, security can be compromised. It can be broken. It doesn't work anymore. Yeah. But for example, you don't want to compromise your values, the things that you really stand for. But in most things, it's best to reach a compromise, to reach a consensus. And in this case, both of the words have the same meaning. Let's see, a compromise, a consensus, formality, a compromise. I think I'm going to give it 6 in formality, use it anywhere. A consensus, maybe 6.5. Informality, it's just a little bit more formal. But I think, let's see, consensus. I don't think I would use it informally. I think I would use compromise informally. But otherwise, both words, fine, anything semi-formal or formal. And then as to origin, okay, compromise comes from Latin compromissus, from compromittere, together, and promittere, to promise. So to compromise, to promise together. And a consensus comes from Latin consensus, from consentio. I think to feel, sentio, together. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Compromise and consensus.